Welcome to another edition of Busy MC TV, where we bring you the hottest interviews, display the dopest music, and give you explosive commentary on the stories that's rocking the world. And this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't even supposed to bring the show today, man. But I was looking at a couple of things last night, man, it really rattled me, man. First story I got two stories tonight, but I'm gonna spend some time on both of them. We're gonna look at a little history lesson today. We're gonna talk about Australia and how it become a country when it was a country that was based off established as a prison continent. That's crazy, ain't it? So they made a whole entire country off criminals. Wow. Sort of the same effect of how the English expelled the very undesirable that so-called found America. Crazy family. Another story. Riding on the infrastructure bill they're trying to push with all this COVID shit. Will they get it done? This shit hit the fan. I don't understand, man. Are you guys paying attention to this shit? Are you guys aware of history? Are you guys aware of the country and established institutions that you hold up near and dear to your heart? Are you aware of those things? That's all I'm here for. I'm here to teach, man. I'm not here to preach. Busy MC TV is for the babies and it's for your mind. I want to thank my listeners and my fans, everybody for being here, paying attention to Busy MC TV, because without you, this would be nothing. Let me show you why I do this. This is what Busy MC TV is for. You have to educate these things. You have to sharpen up your mind about social issues and things that are going around you. Life is more than just shaking your ass, getting high, and interacting on social media. Say what's up, Sarah. On that note, man, I'm about to break my stories, man. It's Busy MC TV. Okay. The first story I'm gonna bring up is the Australia story and how it became a country. And
no.
yes, you're gonna get a lesson. All right, here we go.
Better drivers deserve a better car insurance experience.
Yes.
So download the Root Insurance app and get a...
We're gonna get into this story.
Uh-oh.
And how
It's based primarily on
the
Topics across the ocean to the largest island in existence. The plan didn't work, but it did start a whole new country. Today, we're going to take a look at how exactly Australia became England's penal colony. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel and let us know in the comments below what other colonial topics you would like to hear about. Now we're going to a land down under where the women glow and men plunder. Can't you hear the thunder? You better stay, your history class may cover. The main reason for transporting convicts out of the country was to allow England to rid its
So England was ridding a population of their undesirables. It was sending them to this land, which we know was Australia. They're rapists, the drug addicts, the pedophiles, the murderers. They all sent to this country. All right, we're going to listen.
Of the so-called criminal class. But it also served another purpose. It allowed the English to expand their realm without sacrificing any law-abiding members of its citizenry. Creating these new settlements was no easy task, though, and the convicts were forced to provide the necessary labor for the colonies to grow and thrive. It was a win-win scenario for England.
I think that's kind of bullshit. See, already, they're trying to give you misinformation. Already. Because let me tell you, those convicts didn't come there and do no work. They went down there and enslaved the indigenous, the aborigine. You ever heard of those black looking people that's in Australia that they killed off, that they killing off? You know what I'm saying? They're called aborigines, man. They didn't go down there and do no goddamn work. They already starting off lying, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going.
Itself of supposedly harmful individuals while using the convicts as a valuable resource necessary to expand the English Empire. While Australia eventually became the chief destination for these convicts, it didn't start out that way. In fact, initially, the English transported their convicts to America. It's estimated that around 2,000 convicts were sent to the 9 American settlements per year, totaling roughly 50.
See what I just said? Now you see what I just said. They were sending all their undesirables to America as well. And then they're going to tell you and sit there and lie to you that America was built off Christian values. You understand? They're trying to rewrite history. They're trying to rewrite the history books. They're trying to tell us that they were so much sanctified and holier than thou that all they did was go conquer countries in the name of Christ, which was a goddamn lie.
50,000 convicts transported across the Atlantic Ocean. These convicts had been convicted of a wide variety of misdeeds, ranging from political offenses to abductions. While sending prisoners to America was a fairly efficient...
And you see how they try to clean this shit up? From political things to abductions. Man, get the fuck out of here. They were sending prostitutes, dope addicts, pedophiles, serial killers. They were sending all their undesirables to this place where these indigenous people were at.
System. It was eventually interrupted by a minor historical event called the American Revolution. After the U.S. formally gained independence in 1783, it became a lot less eager to take England's criminals off their hands, and the Brits were left to find a new place to send them.
So Australia not really that old. It's not really that old, man. Everybody think this place is rich and deep and all these Crocodile Dundee looking motherfuckers. Them some new people. And they're criminals. They're from a long line of blood criminals, bro. Damn.
The major conflict of the American Revolution started in 1775, but by that time, England had already moved to expand its rule beyond the North American colonies. In 1770, Captain James Cook's voyage on the Endeavour established the first contact between the British Empire and Australia. Cook landed on Botany Bay, on the east coast of Australia, in the area now known as New South Wales. The fact that the continent was already occupied by indigenous people didn't mean squat.
Yeah, the fact that it was occupied by the indigenous people, like he just said, ain't mean shit to them. You understand? But we're going to keep going.
To the British and Cook, who immediately claimed it for the English crown. This action brought yet another piece of land under British control and set the stage for not one but 3 Crocodile Dundee movies. Much like the American colonies, the Australian settlements offered the opportunity to expand British rule while simultaneously continuing its penal corrective system. Insert your own Viagra reference right here. In 1788, Captain Arthur Phillip of the Royal Navy set out to establish the first convict settlement, which any fan of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, can tell you was located in a place called
Botany Bay. Botany Bay.
When he arrived, however, Phillip found the area unsuitable for human habitation.
We've got to get out of here now. Damn. What about the Never mind that. Hurry!
So the crew moved on to Port Jackson, an area that's now part of the famous Sydney Harbor. 11 British ships brought new settlers to Port Jackson. 6 were convict transports, 3 were store ships, and 2 were naval escorts.
So the transportation of convicts was a profitable business for them, because it was easier them to send criminals and shit to conquer a new land. That was by design. They knew the indigenous was there. That was by design. Excuse me, y'all. Let me let my son go play and stuff. I just wanted to introduce him to my fans. And that was Baby Noogies. Yeah, what they was doing was introducing their rule under a guise of sending convicts and criminals to this country. Okay? We're going to keep going.
In all, the fleet brought 736 convicts and 1,000 total settlers to Australia. The voyage took 8 months before the colonists reached their new home. Finding the new area much more agreeable, Phillip quickly settled into his role as governor of the first Australian colony. When Phillip landed in Australia, hardly anything was known about the new land. Colonizers had little idea what they would find in terms of food or terrain.
Yeah, they went down there, bro, because they didn't know how to farm. They didn't know how to do shit, bro. They went there and killed all those animals, the Bengal jackal. I think it's a Bengal jackal. All those animals in Australia went extinct when they went down there. You understand? And even the Aborigine people, man, you know, they wiped out their civilization, man. It's like, and then they got the nerve to nowadays be racist out there. And you come from a long line of nasty motherfuckers, but you got the nerve to be racist against the natives, the Aborigine, but you over there taking their land and making up goddamn rules and laws and ain't got nothing to do with them people. Sick people, man. I wonder if God going to bring judgment on these people.
They didn't know if indigenous people were friendly or how many of them there were. When it came to the convicts, the lack of knowledge was considered a positive. British officials believed fear of the unknown would stop convicts from committing more wrongs in their new home. However, in terms of establishing a colony,
a bunch of criminals and murderous Europeans, bruh, fear of the unknown, dog, they love that shit, bruh. They went out there and wreaked havoc on that little country. Talking about the fear of the unknown will probably straighten them out. Man, they went down there and terrorized that country.
Lack of knowledge meant convicts and freemen had to work together to squeeze success from their new settlement. With that mission in mind, he sought to reform his convict charges rather than...
So they trying to make the convicts look like they went down there and just built the country and kumbaya'd it. Bruh, they was down there. Even the convicts was motherfucking enslaving the indigenous. Even the convicts was on that shit, man. So being a murderer, drug addict, killer, you still think you better than the motherfucking pure person. Like I can go outside right now, man, and a motherfucker ugly ass Euro with bumps all over his face in a wheelchair would think he better than me. Call me a nigga. The fuck? I mean, goddamn, bruh. This shit crazy.
Simply discipline them.
Privileges.
The Port Jackson colony struggled to survive at the start. Many of the settlers were unskilled in farming, and their lack of expertise led to failed crops and a lack of food.
Didn't I tell you they ain't know how to farm? Didn't I tell you they ain't had no skills? Just like when they went to America. They ain't know how to farm. They ain't want to make friends with the Indians. They was over there eating dead people. Until the Indians showed them how to farm and cultivate the land. They was over there eating they dead.
However, Philip insisted that convicts and freemen get the same rations, no matter how much or how little their...
They treated the convicts and the freemen the same because they was down there in the same bullshit. They was, quote unquote, self-appointed overseers, if you understand what I'm talking about. They was, quote unquote, overseers over this new land, and the British was trying to get that land under some sneaky shit. All right, but we're going to go keep going.
Was at the time. In addition, he gifted land to convicts he deemed deserving, thus giving them a chance to truly start over in the New World. Practicality, incentives, and valuing the success of his convicts, Philip ensured his colony survived.
Learn Spanish with Real Spanish TV.
That shit,
No veo
man.
nada, no veo nada.
Click on words.
Wow.
While the Port Jackson settlement was meant to be a type of prison set away from British soil, Philip's egalitarian outlook made it more closely resemble a well-functioning British town. And as the colony found its footing in the 17th...
A town full of criminals. You mean to tell me a country was built off another country sending their undesirables? Yo, I'm not making this shit up, man. I'm not making this shit up about Australia. This shit is crazy. We're going to keep listening.
90s, convicts and freemen lived comfortably together. The convicts weren't locked away or relegated to a specific part of town. Instead, they were allowed to live in their own cottages, where they could build families and create a comfortable home. When their sentence was officially served, they could...
See how easily they just could have moved black people or whatever slaves to and let them free and do that, but they rather take criminals and do this shit. They rather take a criminal than help your ass. Tells you a lot, doesn't it, family?
and receive 30 acres of land to call their own, on which they could work and build whatever they wanted. With time,
a nasty, degenerate European criminal could get his 40 acres of the mule. Where's ours? We weren't criminals. We was getting our ass whooped, getting killed, getting ostracized. You understand? They give criminals 40 acres in a mule. Listen, understand what I just said. Criminals, not law-abiding citizens, not people who follow God. Criminals.
the soldiers gave up their strict military ways and integrated with the public. They moved away from their military quarters and built their own homes within the community, trying their hand at different trades and establishing a life outside of service to the crown. Although later penal colonies treated convicts harshly, the first settlement gave people an opportunity to start fresh in a new land with few ties to their past offenses.
To rewrite history. Because they really embarrassed by this shit. They not proud of this history, bruh. Trust me on that. They ain't proud of this history. That's why this little thing that I'm showing y'all, he's really trying to clean it up and make it like, yeah, you know, they sent the convicts there, they made a new life, and, you know, they got with the regular people and they just got themselves together and got that. No, they was down there enslaving the aboriginals. Aborigine. They was slaving those people, man. They was fucking those people up. They was raping those aborigine women.
From the first penal settlement in 1788 to the abolishment of convict transportation in 1868, around 160,000 convicts were transferred from England to Australia. After the success of Port Jackson, convict settlements were established across the country, and shipments of prisoners became a regular occurrence. Another convict...
I got a question. How many native white Australians, European Australians, I'm not going to say white, I'm going to say European. How many European Australians has blood connecting them back to these convicts? I'm quite sure it's quite a bit of incest that went down over there. I'm kind of sure of that.
colony was established at Sullivan's Cove. Convicts first arrived there in 1804, and a regular influx of lawbreakers...
1804. That's not long ago, y'all. That ain't long ago, y'all. 1804. That's like 300 years before I was born. That's not too far away.
And in 1818. As convicts became regular settlers in the new land, several settlements were established as a place of secondary punishment, kind of a prison within a prison. If a convict committed a new offense while in Australia, they were transported again to these particular locations for further punishment. These secondary settlements included Norfolk Island, Macquarie Harbour, Port Macquarie, and Newcastle. Certain convict establishments focused more intensely on punishment, while others emphasized reformation. After serving their sentences, ex-cons could live a life of independence with plenty of opportunities to make money.
Sorry, the slave didn't have that kind of opportunity in America and Australia. The slave didn't have it. They didn't have the opportunity to just start over. And they tried with Black Wall Street and all that shit, but what they do? Bombed it. They ain't want us to have nothing. But other companies allow criminals to just take a country and form one. That is the most diabolical thing I ever witnessed and I'm hearing in my life. And I heard it last night. And I didn't know nothing about Australia. I was just in my bed and the video came to me and I said, you know what, man? I got to educate my people because it's a real deep correlation between the prisoners being shipped in Australia to the way that the so-called God-fearing Euros came to America and destroyed the Indians.
While Australia was known primarily as a penal colony, many free settlers were also attracted to the new continent. New colonists could easily gain their own land, allowing them to make the kind of living that might not have been feasible for them in England.
And how can they divvy out this land that didn't even belong to them? Somebody tell me this. How can you divvy out land you wasn't even from? You ain't even from. You don't even know the animals. You don't even know the terrain. You don't even know what type of crops you could put out there. But you're going to go there and kill off the indigenous and divvy up Hey, y'all. Is y'all listening to me? How you can just do that? That's like me coming in your house that you establish. I come in your front door, bring my kids, fuck your man up, fuck you up, indoctrinate your kids, put your kids in the living room on the floor, and I divvy out the rooms to my kids, and y'all paying the rent. You wouldn't go for that, will you?
In 1831, Western Australia became the second colony of free settlers, though migrants had been making their way over from European countries for quite some time. South Australia was colonized in 1836, followed by Victoria in 1851, Tasmania in 1856, and Queensland in 1859. Many of the new settlers made their living by raising sheep and cattle. They mostly settled largely on the coasts, steering clear of the dangerous and inhospitable bush. As Australia gained more settlers and an increased sense of independent rule, conflict arose regarding convict transportation. Many settlers didn't believe in it and didn't like the idea that their tax dollars were being used for the...
Bullshit. Talking about the country started saying they want to use their tax dollars to transport the criminals to Australia and nothing like that. No, they was getting embarrassed. They was worried about times of 2021, 2022, where motherfucker like me will get on here and expose some shit like that. That's what they was doing. That they was trying to cover up their tracks by then. You understand? We got you. You understand? We got you. You understand? If my young people just understand the correlation of how evil that the European has been to the indigenous of this world, we have to expose this. Okay? And I don't care. And I'm going to say it every time.
process. At the same time, England's opinion on punishment was shifting again. The English stopped believing in the power of transportation and grew uncomfortable with the way many convicts were treated when assigned to private employers. To end the maltreatment of convicts, England abolished convict transportation to private employers in 1840. That choice essentially ended convict transportation altogether, though it wasn't officially eliminated in most Australian states until 1852. During that time, Western Australian colonists instructed the government to send convicts to their settlement. The process continued for 16 more years until convict transportation was ended completely in 1868.
100 years before I was born. That's not long ago, y'all. 100 years before 1974, I was born. That's not fucking long ago. Civil rights ain't long ago. Jim Crow ain't long ago. The bombing of Black Wall Street wasn't that long ago, bro. These motherfuckers out here trying to rewrite history and tell us they were some God-fearing people. And we all know that's a G-O-T-D-A-M-N lie. Goddamn. Not goddamn. Goddamn lie. So, don't go for the okie doke, man.
In the 1850s, gold was discovered in Victoria, and not surprisingly, migration to Australia surged. As a result,
found gold in these indigenous people's land. They found gold. Boom! It's over with. Once the European go in these countries and they get the resources, your country is done. Your country is done once they get their hands on them resources, because you're going to have to wipe them out to get it back. And the European government and the English government was strong. They was real strong.
the population quickly quadrupled, and the country's exports expanded immensely. By 1891, Australia was a leading exporter of wool, mutton, dairy products, and wheat.
Not very good exports. Mutton. Who's fuck trading for mutton? And I used to watch medieval movies and shit, and they be like, yo, prepare the mutton and shit like that. That's some nasty shit. That's like meat wrapped around in goat stomach, like a sheep stomach. It's like a pouch of meat in a sheep's stomach. It's called mutton. So they was transporting that nasty shit. They ain't had no sugar. They ain't had no rice. They ain't had no spices. But they had this nasty ass shit. Who were they trading that with? Let me get 57,000 pounds of mutton over here. Who the fuck gonna eat that nasty shit?
In addition, the population expanded from 430,000 in 1851 to 3 million in 1891. Australian colonies were largely self-governing because their interests differed immensely. Each settlement had different priorities, which led to general distrust among the colonists. In fact, between 1860 and 1900, the colonies barely interacted with each other. However, the desire for a united federation grew over time, and in 1901, the colonies finally banded together into the Commonwealth.
So 1901, let me see, that's 73 years before I was born. Now we're getting closer and closer. You see I'm giving y'all the timeline? Now we're getting closer and closer to the year I was born in Brooklyn. Okay? 1901 is when Australia was established. This is not even a real fucking country to me. It's not. I don't see it as a real country. I see it as a prison country. And anybody who's there and born there and have family lineage from there, I would trace my steps to see which one of these scumbags I'm related to. Because 9 times out of 10, you're related to a pedophile, you're related to a murderer, you're related to a prostitute, dope addict. But you going around saying these countries was formed off Christian values. And we're going to blow the lid off the bullshit. Okay? Blow the lid clean off it. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to do. Blow the lid clean off this shit.
Of Australia. Under the new system, the colonies transformed into states united under one federal government. The Commonwealth government was in charge of defense, immigration, customs, marriage, and external affairs. Beyond that, each state retained the power to make its own laws. Although Australia established itself as one nation with a federal government, it was still a dominion of the British Empire, which a lot of folks found a little confusing. But in 1931, the statute...
Of course they're going to keep it under the British Empire because all the British scumbags are there. What else are they going to be up under? What else?
of Westminster provided some clarity. Under this statute, Australia was established as an independent nation equal to Britain with a common allegiance to the Crown. In other words,
equal to Britain because they already had an army. When they were sending those convicts down there, it's already a fucking army there, bruh. It's already an army there, bruh.
Australia was granted full autonomy as a sovereign nation with no need to abide by British laws, now or in the future. Australia remains a member.
No wonder Australia was behind Trump so bad. I was wondering, like, what's the correlation between Australia and Trump and all this shit and all that? The racists had a lot of shit in common, bruh. They know their history, bruh.
The Commonwealth today. In this way, the country maintains ties to Britain while still maintaining its independence. So what do you think? Australia?
Yeah, what do you think? Rappers, entertainers, my black entertainers. I've been hearing a lot of stories about certain entertainers go over there to Australia and they get banned from coming back. They get in trouble when they go out there and all this shit. Because y'all niggas don't know the history. If I was in Australia, I would tread lightly out that motherfucker. Very lightly as a black person. Because look what they did to the indigenous. That they don't look like us now. The Aborigine. God bless them. And I hope they still living on. Power to the Aborigine. But all I'm saying is, bro, they wiped out a lot of people, man, and you over there entertaining these bloodline degenerates. And then when they don't like the way you moving, they can ban you from their country. I can't think of the entertainers off the top of my head, but I know it's like 5 or 6 of them that's banned from Australia. And Australia, like, it's not even a place I ever want to visit. Ever. I don't care about being there. I don't care for the culture or nothing. Because I know the history. I'm not going to visit nowhere where there's a history of them wiping out a whole kind of people. And that's all over the place. You got the Spanish, the European. They wiped out a lot of people, man. Okay? And that's what we dealing with, man. We dealing with some shit to where that if we don't understand and learn where we live, we don't understand and learn where we live, we're going to be wiped out ourselves. We don't even understand that we dying. Our race is dying in America, just like the Aborigine. All this shit happened within like 300 years, bro. You think the Aborigine don't deserve reparations from England? Do y'all think so? Do y'all think the Aborigine deserves any kind of monetary windfall from this? From the exports and things? I don't know about the mutton, but the wheat and all that, I know they've used them as slave labor. I know they used them as slave labor. So we're not even gonna play with these people, man. We're not even gonna play with these people, man. For real. And we got to understand our history. We got to understand our history. We got to understand what the fuck is going on, man. And I'm going to find this story right quick. Let me find this story. Let me find the story. All right. If it comes on. Joe Biden is my next story. His My next, let me see where I got that. I misplaced it. I want to read it. But I also got it on a YouTube clip too. We just go to YouTube and do it. Okay. The devil don't want me to give this information out. That's why I just had it up so I can have it queued, but he misplaces it so I can't tell it. But I'm telling this shit. All right. Listen to what he says. Listen to what Joe Biden
A few days ago, I opened my account with Lily, a banking app designed for freelancers with no hidden fees or minimum balance.
Watch what he says. Pay attention to how he says it.
Thank you.
No.
I asked you 1,000 different questions, and they're all legit. I'm telling you, we're going to get this done. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter whether it's in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. We're going to get it done.
Wow. He said he don't matter 6 minutes, 6 weeks, or 6 months. Do y'all understand the number in here? 666. Are y'all understanding? We heard this. We just heard the president just utter out 666, nigga. All right. They're trying to get this infrastructure bill passed so they could pass all these ridiculous ass mandates on the vaccine. You understand? And whether you know it or not, people, we in the fight for our freedom, man. Y'all think it's cool around here. Y'all think it's good. Y'all think, Joe Biden is for us and all that. Black people, he really played you. He played he didn't play me because I didn't vote for the nigga. I know what he about. Mr. 3 Strikes. Mr. Prison, school to prison pipeline. Mr. Kamala Harris, Miss Lock a Bitch Up. Man, bro. Y'all better understand where we live at, man. I'm going to try to find the story so I can read it. I got to read this. I got to read this news story, man. I got to get it. I'm going to get it to you. But yeah, like I was saying, man, y'all trusting in these politicians, man. Y'all acting like these politicians mean something for us. And when I was looking like on an election, and I'm looking, and I'm like, what the fuck y'all niggas dancing for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? Y'all capping for this shit, man. And I can't believe how y'all sitting up here not questioning this man moves, not questioning what this man do. Did y'all see what he did to the Haitians, man, with the Cowboys and Indian shit? Y'all ain't see that? Wow. Yeah, I can't find it, y'all. I can't find it. But I guess the devil don't want me to tell it, but I'm going on freestyle with it. I don't care. He's frustrated because black people ain't trying to fuck with him with that COVID shot. We ain't fucking with him. You understand? The only black people that's fucking with him are the coons. And if you took the shot, you ain't a coon, I'm sorry. But these the motherfuckers that's running the transportation. These motherfuckers in the welfare office. These motherfuckers at these jobs. We are the forefront of put your mask on. We are the forefront of go get your COVID shot. I ain't letting niggas talking me in that shit, man. No. We are the watchdogs for this bullshit, whether you know it or not. People have a 99.9% chance of catching it and getting rid of it healthy. Children are too. Not unless you have pre-existing conditions. Now, you need to worry if you got pre-existing conditions. You need to worry. You got AIDS. You got pneumonia. You got any kind of shit that fucks with your breathing. You got to worry. You understand? Everybody done had this shit. Everybody done had COVID. Whether you know it or not, you done had it. You have a 99% non-chance rate of surviving this shit, man. And these people trying to capitalize on our freedoms to get this infrastructure. It's hitting as an infrastructure bill. People, please read this shit, man. Please read the infrastructure bill authored by Mr. Crypt Keeper himself. And black people, stop capping. Stop capping out here for this bullshit, man. You want to be safe, be safe. You see a nigga not wearing a mask or he ain't paying that shit no attention. He living by faith in God. Leave him the fuck alone. Cause that shit starts a lot of bullshit, man. You walking up on a nigga, where's your mask? Man, get the fuck out of here. Capping for that demon ass shit. You worrying about COVID, but you'll fuck a nigga at the club. And you don't even know him. You worrying about COVID, but you'll sit up here and put your mouth in between the lady legs. Do the pussy got a mask on? Bruh, stop capping for these motherfucking niggas out here, man. These goddamn politicians, man. Stop it. Get educated. Stop it. Get educated. I talked to a paramedic. He said he dealt with over 200 to 300 COVID patients. He ain't caught it yet. I wish we stopped capping for these motherfuckers and this president. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Democrat nor Republican. But I just call spades spades, man. I call spades spades, man, because without doing that, who's to check these people, man? When that infrastructure bill passed, now I'm not saying, to me personally, I don't think it's going to get passed because it's too much opposition. I don't think it's going to get passed. And I thank God for some of the politicians that's looking at this and saying, wait a minute, no. Because family, we're not going to be able to work. We're not going to be able to feed our kids. We're not going to be able to do nothing unless we take that dangerous shit. And God, I wasn't even supposed to do a show today. God put this on my spirit to bring you this, whatever I'm saying, to bring it to you. It's not about being vaccinated and saving lives. It's about putting poison in the black community. That's their main target is us, because they know once they got a Democrat in office, yeah, we can cap these niggas into this shit. You ain't gonna cap me into it. I don't care what kind of celebrity. I don't care what kind of shit you do. I don't care. I never cap for the government. Get out of that. Wake up out of that shit, man. Wake up out of that shit. Wake up out of the division they trying to put us in with these Europeans in this country. Wake up out of that shit. We all in this shit together, man. Whether we know it or not. I ain't got problem with the average European in America. I got problem with the motherfucker, the PTB. That's what I got problems with. I don't got problems with the white boy that stay next to me. I don't got problem with the white woman I see at the store. It's the motherfuckers that make the laws and sell me my products. Those are the Euros that I'm talking about. Corporate America. Not these motherfuckers. And that's where they get it wrong too. They get it wrong just like the prisoners in Australia. They were designated overseers. And that's how they see themselves here too. Designated overseers. We have to understand, man, get out of this shit, man. Get out of this matrix, man. We got to get out the matrix and understand that this country is into division, and it's into lying to its citizens, and it's actively rewriting history as I sit down and tell you this shit. All the shit I just told you is somebody right now writing like that nigga lying, this what happened, this what happened. Don't fall for the fucking okie doke, man. Because falling for the okie doke will get you hurt or killed. And that's my two stories, man. I ain't got three today, man, because I got something to do today. And God bless you for being here. God bless you for listening. God bless you for wanting to understand the word. And this is Busy MC TV. So I bring you interviews, dope music, and commentary on stories that's rocking. Yeah, man. They started on good Christian values, didn't they? England, you an evil motherfucker. So you mean to tell me you sent all of your undesirables to a so-called empty land? Y'all went down there right close to have a mission. Well, you tried to, but there's still some out there, but you tried to. Murderers, prostitutes, serial killers, child molesters, occultists were sent to Australia and America to destroy the indigenous people. And they tell you that black people wasn't in America before Christopher Columbus, they lying. Black people been in the continent called America since we've been here for a long fucking time. We ain't just get to America by no goddamn boat. Some of them did. Some of us did. Man, go search your history and your bloodline, man. You ain't 9 times out of 10. Your black family ain't from Zimbabwe or Angola or motherfucking Zimbabwe. They ain't from that shit. Niggas from right out here. We had sophisticated societies. We was dealing with trade. We were dealing with the barter system. Until we was introduced to these devils with their Bible and their weapons. 6 months. He said he's going to pass it under the guise of the 666. Y'all still don't believe we're in a satanic wicked society. Y'all still think it's good out here. It's not good out here, man. America is under a depopulation program. You got these rich evil bastards, man. Like, you watch movies and you see these villains trying to be hell-bent on world domination. These motherfuckers exist. That nigga that do this and go Austin Powers, a nigga like that exists.